Yeah.
What are you saying, bro?
Well, God, he's saying, cousin. I'm just here with the Kaffir, and I'm gonna tell you why he's a Kaffir.
I'm born Muslim, alhamdulillah. I'm born Muslim, man. Alhamdulillah.
I'm trying to show him that being born Muslim doesn't make you not a Kaffir. A Kaffir comes from the word cover. You get me? The root word is cover, and it's someone who knows the truth and covers the truth. You know what I'm saying? So by that definition, yeah, no one at Speaker's Corner has actually been able to show me why their interpretation of Islam is the truth. So that means I don't know their truth. All I know is the truth that the Most High put in my heart. You understand? So that means that I'm not covering the truth if I don't bow down to whatever his interpretation of Islam is. You understand? But I would say that he's a Kaffir because I say that he knows the truth in his heart and he covers the truth.
And what's the truth?
You understand?
What's the truth?
We can get into that.
What's the truth? No, tell me, what's the truth? Tell us to the camera, what's the truth?
All right, one of the truths that he knows in his heart. Yeah, we're gonna see if he's honest. Yeah? Do you believe that everyone who is a Kaffir is gonna burn in hellfire?
Yes.
Is that hellfire?
It's in the Quran.
Yeah?
I have evidence. It's in the Quran.
Is the hellfire eternal?
Yes, for the disbelievers, yes.
All right, cool.
If they die upon disbelief, right, in the Quran, Allah says, في نار جهنم خالدين فيها في نار جهنم. And abada, which means they'll burn in hellfire for eternity. Yeah. If they die upon disbelief. But if you die before you disbelieve in Allah and you repent to Allah and you accept Islam, you take your shahada, then yeah, you go Jannah.
All right,
it's clear cut, simple in the Quran,
All right, cool. Like I'm saying, yeah, can you read the verse for us, please? Can you bring the verse?
1 second, I'll bring the verse.
My belief is that this is an interpretation of what the Quran is saying. I do believe that there's a verse that that identifies towards that in the Quran, but I believe that that's an interpretation which is a political interpretation. You understand? And not a spiritual interpretation. Yeah? And I believe there's hidden, you get me? So what I'm saying is, yeah.
But if you ask any Muslim right now, in today's age, any Muslim, if you ask them what will happen to disbelievers in afterlife, they'll tell you straight up, hellfire.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Straight up. Forget sex, right? Every single Muslim believes in the same thing. All disbelievers will go to hellfire.
But not every Muslim on the planet believes that just because you're not Muslim, you're going to go to the hellfire. Some Muslims believe...
If a Muslim believes that, he's not Muslim.
Some Muslims believe that it's righteousness that the Most High will see. You understand?
But that's the thing. Who's the Most High? Who do you regard the Most High to be?
The Most High is the Most High and the most merciful and the most gracious.
Because the funny thing is, right, even the pagans in Mecca, right, they believed that they believed in Allah, but it doesn't mean that they were Muslims.
Yeah.
They were not Muslims. They believed in Allah, but they were still not Muslims. They were pagans.
No, but what I'm saying is, you see,
believing in Allah is not enough.
Before Islam came about, if you go back to the Torah, yeah, there's a clear differentiation that the Torah uses. Yeah, it says about the godly and the ungodly. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're a Jew or not a Jew. It's about the godly and the ungodly, the sinner and the righteous. Yeah. During political Islam, yeah, I believe there was an interpretation that now changed the word righteous and made it synonymous with Muslim, yeah, and changed the word ungodly and made it synonymous with non-Muslim, and made that synonymous with Kaffir. You understand? But this is just a political interpretation. Now, I don't know if that political, that's why I want to hear the verse, because I don't know if the political interpretation was put in, it could have been put in within the times of the Caliph, because I believe they had a political agenda, you understand? And I don't believe it was a negative political agenda. I believe they just had to control the people and make choices that humans make, and human beings can make mistakes when they make choices. Do you understand?
Okay, I'll read the verse to you, right? There's two different verses from two different chapters. And this verse says, right, this is in Surah Al-Hajj, verse 19, chapter 19, verse 22, and it says, right, those who disbelieved will have cut out for them garments of fire, put upon their heads, which will be scalding on water, by which melted that within their bellies and their skins, and for striking them are maces of iron. Every time they want to get out of hellfire from anguish, they will be returned to it, and it will be said, taste the punishment of the burning fire.
Okay, so those who disbelieved in the Most High, That's who he's talking about.
Exactly.
I don't know
And
about
that's
anything
evidence.
about political Islam and his interpretation of Islam in that
It's not
Quranic
it's
verse.
the Quran. It's not my
Yeah,
interpretation.
no,
it's the
but
Quran.
I'm saying, but he said those who disbelieved.
Yes.
So that's it. So it doesn't say,
Disbelievers.
yeah, disbelievers in the Most High. I don't disbelieve in the Most High, so I'm not a Kaffir by that verse. Let's go to the next verse.
Next verse says, and fear the fire which has been prepared for disbelievers. But the thing is, who are disbelievers?
Disbelievers
You see,
are
believing in Allah, right, it's not enough for you to be a Muslim, right? Because there are things which take out the fold of Islam. For example, the 5 pillars of the faith, right? There's 5 pillars. There's 6 pillars of Iman. If you reject one of them, you're not a Muslim. And that's the problem I have with Raspect.
That's not interpreted. That's not. Look,
This is the mainstream Orthodox Islamic teachings that you must believe in these pillars. If you don't believe in these pillars, you're not Muslim. Ask every single Muslim, he'll tell you the same thing.
And I'm saying that there's someone somewhere who has never heard about these pillars, yeah, and they're living righteously, and they are equal
that's a good point.
in the sights of the Most High. And I'm also saying that there are people who are not Muslim, yeah, and they are more righteous than Muslims. Yeah, and there are people who are Muslim that are more righteous than other people, and the Most High loves the righteous. Yeah, the Most High doesn't love you because you give yourself a label. It's very easy to take a shahada.
Okay,
I can do it right now. I can repeat after you. Yeah, but actually being righteous is a whole new thing. Now let me get back to why he covers up the truth and doesn't even know it, and why many people cover up the truth.
I'm giving you
Because one, we've already seen that the disbelievers is an interpretation. Because I'm saying that just because one disbelieves in your interpretation of Islam or what the mainstream interpretation of Islam is, it does not mean that one disbelieves in the Most High. That's firstly. You understand? Now what I'm saying is, now we're saying that this God is most merciful. We're saying that this God is most loving. We're saying that there's no God. We're saying that this God has a mercy that we cannot comprehend. Yeah? A mercy that we can't comprehend. So listen to this. Listen to what this brother's saying, which he knows in his heart to be a lie. And all Muslims know it to be a lie, and all Christians know it to be a lie. The people that was in Grenfell Tower, that burned, that we grieved for, yeah, who burned, they didn't burn for 20 minutes. Some of them burned for half an hour at the max before they was dead. Yeah, and we grieved for those people. Now, the interpretation that he's trying to put forward is after those people burned in Grenfell Tower, everyone who was not a Muslim is going back into hellfire, which is hotter than the fire in Grenfell Tower. You understand? And they're not going there for a day. They're not going there for 2 days. They're not going there for 3 years. They're not going there for 100 years. They're not going there for a million years. They're going there forever and ever and ever, and that's not stopping. And you want to tell me that this is a most merciful God? I serve the living God, and my God is most merciful. So if you balance, listen. If you balance your Islamic teachings, like it says, go back. The Quran says. Are you listening? Yeah, you don't speak for Allah, but let me say one thing. Well, you are, but let me say one thing.
I'm speaking from the Quran and Sunnah.
Let me say your interpretation of the Quran and Sunnah, which you want in your heart.
There's no interpretation.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you're a Kaffir, because you're covering the truth.
I'm a Kaffir.
Because your heart knows that Allah's not going to do that. We all know. Everyone here knows that. But you're going to fight it because you're covering the truth. That's why you're a Kaffir.
Let me speak.
Can I say one point?
A Kaffir tells me a Kaffir. That's funny, man.
Can I say one point about
Hold on. Earlier on he made a point, right, saying that people who don't know, right, why would they go to hellfire? People who don't know about Islam or never heard of it.
Now don't go to that point.
The thing is,
hold on.
I will. 1 second. Let me cover this point. The people who never heard of Islam, right? Let's say they live in a desert.
By the way, this point he's making is null and void. I understand what he's going to say. They never heard the message, so that's why they're going to be all right for the Most High. But if you heard the message and you rejected the message, then you're going to get the hellfire.
That's exactly.
All right. But anyway, let's go to the Grenfell Tower thing now.
Okay, the Grenfell Tower, right? The Grenfell Tower, obviously. It was a tragic event, right? It was a tragic event, horrific event. You know, I feel sorry for the people that died, even the non-Muslims, because I believe that, you know, we're all brothers and sisters in humanity.
Yeah.
Okay,
but the thing is,
the Kaffirs that died there are going to hell.
I believe so. As a Muslim, I have to, man.
I don't believe that myself.
So are you saying? So are you saying this believers? Are you saying this believers go Jannah?
I tell you what, exactly.
Allah says in the Quran, though.
Can I say something?
Allah says in the Quran.
First of all, okay, let me just say something short.
No. The thing is me, I don't know who's a Kaffir or who's not a Kaffir. But if a person is a Kaffir, right? If a person, I'm saying in general, if a person is a Kaffir and he dies a Kaffir, he's going hellfire. That's what Muslim. This is what I'm saying in general. General Kaffir, generally in disbelievers.
Okay, can
And how do you know what's,
You're not
how
listening
do you
to
know
what
the
I'm
mind
saying.
of the Most High?
listen to
Because
me.
the Most High is something that we can't comprehend.
What I'm saying is, right,
Hey, let him say
this
it.
believers in general,
God the Most High.
Islam in general.
Wait,
Believers in Islam in general are going hellfire.
I'm not trying to debate
Every
you.
single Muslim believes it. If you
Alright,
don't
listen.
believe this,
I just want to say a point.
if you're a
I just
Muslim,
wanna say a
right,
point.
and you believe
That's
that,
covering the truth again. That's a Kaffir again.
he's calling me a Kaffir.
When we think about God, when we think about Allah, God, Yahweh, like whatever you want to call it, right?
A Kaffir is telling me a Kaffir. It's funny.
Wait. God the Most High. God the Most High. Okay, wait, man.
I'm saying, let me finish though, man. Bro, let me finish.
Let me say that one little thing.
Interpretation of belief. 6 fundamental principles.
He's trying to speak.
I mentioned earlier on, that's what I said earlier on. I mentioned it up.
Say what you're saying.
Exactly, that's what I said earlier on.
One minute.
But you guys don't listen
One
to
minute,
me.
let's go.
All right.
Let him speak first.
Allah or God the Most High, when we say is the most merciful, we can never understand what mercy is until we come down to earth and see what He created. Think of the most merciful or the most wisest person you know,
100%.
right? So imagine the mind that created that wise, merciful
Ah, alhamdulillah. You got me.
That's all I want to say.
That's real life.
person, right?
That's
And then
the real
we come to Kaffir. A Kaffir is someone like me. I know a lot about God. I know a lot about the Quran. If I turn away and start to show off and turn away from Islam or whatever I believe or divine, then that makes me a Kaffir.
But you just said this believers in the Gulf Tower are going to heaven.
But someone, listen. But someone, yeah, who, like, let's say he was born into Christianity. He never heard so much about Islam, but yet, you know, he knows here and there, he heard some part.
He never heard of Islam. How in a generation, right, can you never hear of Islam?
Finish this point. I want to hear
sense.
Wait, what you hear first and what you've been taught at first and the way you've been schooled as a young man, that is what you take.
What makes a Muslim a Muslim?
Wait, can I finish?
He doesn't know.
Well, I'm not challenging you.
No,
I'm just saying the only thing is
Let him finish.
you have a lot of people listening to you.
I know there's a lot of people listening to me, but at the same time, what we understand about God is
Be concise, Akhi. What makes a Muslim a Muslim?
okay, to be a Muslim, the word Muslim means to submit to the divine, to the one God, to the Creator.
What beliefs must you have to be a
So,
Muslim?
to be a Muslim, I don't even have to say the Arabic word to be a Muslim. I could be a submitter. I could be anything, right? But yeah, as long as, Akhi, listen, Allah says in the Quran simply, Allah says in the Quran, آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه وباليوم الآخر. Right?
Yeah, carry on. There's one more.
ورسله.
وَرُسُلِهِ.
And there's one more.
Different verses, different.
There's one more.
This is the correct answer.
But what I'm trying to
In English, translate it for
But
them.
bro, the whole argument is, he said, right, the disbelievers in the Grenfell Tower that died are going heaven.
I didn't say
That's what he
that.
said.
Before he says
No,
that.
I didn't say that. What we're
Allah
saying
is the most
is,
merciful and Allah will judge them. They died in fire. They only died in fire. So what's the point of taking them to
The
another
fire
fire?
in this country,
Allah is intelligent.
the fire in this life and the next life is different.
There is
I'm not here to refute. Are you listening? Let
I'm
me say
just here to
something.
stand for the truth.
But
What
that's
he's
the
putting
truth,
is
Allah
human
knows.
traits on Allah,
Allah
which he wants to see
Yeah.
Allah do.
Dies from
This is
burning,
his
they are
mind
shaheed.
and his
Nah.
heart.
Kafir.
But he doesn't
Dies
listen.
from burning,
He
they are
doesn't.
shaheed.
Well, what kind of kafir are we talking about? Are we talking about
Oh my,
kafir?
Kafir.
No.
A disbeliever,
What is the
Only
kafir?
God can judge.
Subhanallah, man.
Are you listening? What we're talking
surprised,
about,
Aghi.
what we're
I'm
talking
surprised,
about
man.
is the two verses in the Quran.
Islam ugly, man.
Are you listening? In the two verses in
Can I
yeah,
tell you?
because it's about image. You get me?
Can I join you, Ras?
Yeah, you're good, you know.
Now stand. I'm not going to rain on your parade.
You're good.
How you doing?
What, cuz?
Assalamu alaikum.
Rahmatullah.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah.
I really like your trainers, you know.
Thank you.
No, wallah, I like them. Certified, man. They
Thanks a lot.
look different.
Appreciate that.
What was I going to say?
I like the kufis.
The reason why I asked you that question, is because when someone's making takfir on someone else, firstly, what are they deviant in? Obviously, when you're at work, for example, and you sign a contract at work, you go to work, they tell you your working hours, they tell you your rate of pay, they tell you your breach of contract. Then you sign for it. So your working hours, say for example, you're 9 to 5. You're getting 20,000 per annum, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 per annum. Your breach of contract, if you miss work more than once unannounced. First, you have a disciplinary. Secondly, if you miss work unannounced, then you are out of the position. Now,
Can we just keep it?
You know like that.
No, but we've been very choppy.
Have you looked been?
Yeah, just get to the. Can we get to the
point?
crux?
All right.
Yeah.
A Muslim is this. They have, as he said. That
Yeah.
you said the right answer. Wallah, you said the right answer. Is that he has 6 fundamental beliefs. This is what I'm saying. Cut to the chase.
And
A
they
Muslim is someone who, as you said, yes, they submit to Allah because this is what a Muslim is. Someone who submits to the will of Allah, which is to worship Allah alone.
Wait.
As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, one second, brother, yeah?
No, sorry. I'm just gonna say on
Yeah.
each point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Ras if he believes in that or not.
Oh,
because
Yeah.
we're dealing with kuffar, yeah.
Raspect is a lovely guy. I like him. But for me, I'll say very clearly he's a Kaffir. When I say it,
yeah.
it's not a derogatory term. And I'll tell you why he's a Kaffir. yeah, a Muslim. No, I'm not. I swear, I like this guy. I swear, I like this guy and I respect this guy.
I was waiting.
I like him. And when I'm talking to him, I'm not trying to give him no low blows. I'm not. I like him. Yeah. A Muslim. So a believer. Thanks, bro. Yeah. A believer has to believe in these 6 points. That belief that Allah is one. Belief in the angels of Allah, and that the angels are free from choice and desire, and that they were created just like us to worship Allah alone, but they do not have choice, neither desire nor choice. Then, belief in the prophets and messengers, that they came to tell people to reject the taghut, to reject any transgressions, any transgressors that are associated as partners with Allah in His lordship, worship, names and attributes, and judgment. They are verily for Allah alone. And the messengers, so prophets and messengers. All messengers are prophets, but not all prophets are messengers. A messenger is someone who brings new revelation from God. A prophet is someone who continues with the revelation of God that the messengers came and promoted and brought to the people before them. Yeah? After the prophets and messengers, the books, the scriptures, the Quran being the last, that it was not altered by man, by the will and permission of God.
And it says that in the Quran.
About what? That the Quran is perfect book, yes.
No,
I have perfected for you Islam is your religion.
In the Quran it says that you're a Kaffir if you don't believe that the Quran has not been altered.
These 6 points, if you believe that the Quran has been altered, you are not a Muslim. You're out of the fold of Islam.
No, I'm saying, does it say that in the Quran?
We'll bring out the evidence, inshallah. No problem.
Bro, see, the whole point was earlier on.
Brother, wait, let me finish the 6 because I'm nearly finished the 6. Yeah?
I haven't spoke for a long time.
So after this 6 point, bro, I promise you, I didn't mean to come in and I'll jump back out. No problem.
No, you're good to stay, brother.
I appreciate it. I can't cut. I came in. I'm not one to cut. Someone else to speak. It's just that I heard something and I thought at least set this as the
right now you're right to interject because we're dealing with what
I'll step back out in a second.
You're good.
I appreciate that. Actually, look, no, but we need to keep things clear. Why? Because Islam is not like the Bible that is a book of confusion. Islam is clear. Tawheed is made clear.
But in saying that the Bible's confusion, that book's about our people, so you're telling us we're confused?
Yes.
That's about our
No, 1 minute. Uncle, no. Uncle, I've got to stop you. Uncle, I've got to stop you.
You gotta be confused.
Uncle, you know why I've got to stop you? No, it's not even personal, yeah?
I promise you it's not personal. Let me shake your hand, sir. It's not personal.
What happens is, we're on it's cool. But you see in these debates, we're on a one-way, and then there's bare little things that go on that take man off of the one-way, innit? Right now we're dealing with this one-way, innit?
I'm going to say the last 2 points and then I'm out. Yeah? Alright. So
you can stay still,
stay.
If you like, no problem, I don't mind. So, belief in the oneness of Allah, in His lordship, worship, names and attributes and judgment, they're verily for Allah alone. Belief in the angels of Allah, believe in the prophets and messengers of Allah, believe in the scriptures of Allah, including the Bible, including the Jewish scriptures, but knowing that by the will and permission of Allah, these scriptures have been changed, and that Allah has willed and permitted for the Quran to stay exactly the same. And that it's the last book, and that this is where we get our Sharia from. Number 5 is Day of Judgment, including heaven and hellfire. Some people will enter hellfire and they'll go through retribution. Even Muslims, they may enter hellfire, they'll go through retribution. Then when they have been retributed of their sins, they will enter paradise. And they will be known in paradise as the I think Jahannamis or something, they will have a term. But the term that they have in paradise from the other Muslims is not derogatory, because in paradise everyone is free of imperfection. There's no hard feeling, there's no nothing. So even the term that's given, wallahi, it's all pure and all clear and all love. Yeah.
Tell me, this is the mainstream scholarly interpretation of Islam.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is the mainstream.
This is Tawheed.
So that's one interpretation, though, isn't it?
No. There's no. Well, if you were to, for example, anyone who is a Muslim, they cannot deny Tawheed, because Tawheed is
it's not denying Tawheed.
What about someone who doesn't know the intricacies, as you were saying, doesn't understand, can't comprehend it, but they believe in God?
Well, then you speak
members
to them,
of my family. So I agree with you. I agree with you. I also disagree with you. You're right. When you intellectualize it, you're right.
Are you listening?
I'll leave it to Raspect what he wants to deal with, because I interjected.
No, I can't.
And it's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, obviously, he said he thinks I'm a Kaffir, and I'd say I think you're a Kaffir, because like I said, I think he's a Kaffir as well.
To your religion,
yeah. The reason why I say that is because Kaffir means cover. You understand? And someone who knows the truth and covers the truth. And what I was explaining to my man before you came is that we, regardless of the books and scholarly interpretations of books, because even though we can believe that the Quran and the Bible have not been changed, yeah, none of us can have time machines and go back and be 100% sure that nothing didn't happen. So regardless of what the Most High left within books that have been interpreted by men and that are interpreted different by many men, you understand? Many men interpret these things differently, you understand? So because of that now, yeah, I believe, yeah, that the one who covers the truth is the one who covers the truth that the Most High put in our hearts. Because the Most High put something in the Bible, there's a verse that says the truth was written on the tables of the hearts of all men. You understand? Yeah, the truth was written on the tables of the heart of all men. And what I was saying to him is, after the Grenfell Tower, after these people that burned for 20 minutes, they burned for half an hour, they burned for 45 minutes, you understand? And we grieve for them. We grieve for the people that burned in Grenfell Tower for 45 minutes. And we said that was a destruction. But by these brothers' interpretation of Islam, which is only one interpretation, everyone that burned in Grenfell Tower that was a Muslim, that it didn't matter how righteous the Muslim is. It's got nothing to do with that. Yeah? It's got to do with the fact that he's a Muslim and he repented. Because the Christians will tell you the same thing. He was a Christian and he repented. And just because of that, those people will be going to paradise forever. Forever and ever and ever. And they're never going to come out of that paradise. And obviously, you know, there's people that believe you get 72 virgins and all of these things as well. You understand? So that's one interpretation. Then they're telling you that everyone you know that's a Christian, that's a Sikh, that's an atheist, no matter what they are, you understand? No matter how righteous they are, no matter how good they are, it doesn't matter. They're going to burn in hell, not for 1 hour, just because they didn't believe. Now, I don't believe because I can't lie. No one's explaining it in a way to make me actually say, yes, this is 1,000,000% the truth. Yeah? So that's why I don't believe. It's not because I've got a bad heart. It's because you ain't explained it in a way that I know what's in my heart is the truth. The Most High put that there. No man can question that. Which man can question that? And the Most High didn't just put it in my heart, he put it in every single one of your hearts as well. As much as you want to deny it because of interpretations, even in his heart. That's why I say they're Kaffirs. Because they know the truth and they cover the truth.
That's all right.
Yeah? And I'm not saying it in a negative way. Same way you didn't say it in a negative way. You understand? So what I'm saying is the people that don't believe as they believe, no matter how righteous they are, they're not burning for 1 hour, they're not burning for 5 hours, they're not burning for 1,000 hours, they're not burning for 1,000 days, they are burning forever and ever and ever, and that will never stop. And that's simply because they didn't believe what my man was saying. No, it's not the truth.
Okay. All right, so I went to 5th point. So article of faith number 5 is Day of Judgment, including heaven and hell. Article of faith number 6 is Qadr. Now each of these articles of faith are inside the Quran. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us in the Quran that He has perfected Islam for us. He has chosen for us Islam as our religion. Islam is to submit to the will of Allah. A Muslim is the one who submits to the will of Allah. The will of Allah is inside the Quran. And in the Quran, Allah says in chapter 4, verse 82, had they, meaning the disbelievers, then found that the Quran was from other than Allah, they would surely have found therein it much contradiction. So if we take the Quran to be from Allah, number one, point one, if we say that, if I'm making a claim 1, Quran is from Allah. Claim 2, Allah is perfect. Claim 3, thus, the Quran is perfect. 4, the Quran is the word of Allah. Fine. If I take these claims and I refute any of these, it means I am promoting an uncertainty to the Creator by His word, right? Okay. So if I have an uncertainty, Raspect here, I respect that as well, yeah? Raspect said that you can't know 100% of the Most High and etc., etc. We say we know Allah by what He has left us. We are not the omniscient, so we cannot promote omniscience from other than Allah, because one of Allah's names is Al-Alim, which means the all-knowing. The all-knowing. He is the all-knowing.
And most merciful.
Allah is Ar-Rahim, most merciful as well.
This means Allah has a mercy that we cannot comprehend. Yet in my head, I can comprehend that Allah is not going to burn everyone forever because they didn't believe what my man's saying. I can comprehend that. I can comprehend that mercy in my heart. So you're telling me that Allah can't comprehend that mercy?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Sometimes.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, obviously, like this is what I'm saying, yeah, and it goes back to the debate from last week, yeah, because this is a scholarly interpretation, and the thing is, the people who have put this interpretation together, for example, yeah, he read 2 verses, yeah, and all the verse said is disbelievers will be thrown into the hellfire, yeah, but it doesn't state exactly what these people disbelieve in.
Okay.
Like I believe in the Most High, and I know my belief in the Most High is equal to anyone else's. If not,
That's the thing.
as
They
Rastafari,
believed in Allah, but they were still disbelievers.
Cool. Look, is it okay if I speak? Because it's not. He's only one, yeah. So I don't want to like disrespect him. Is it okay?
You're good, brother.
Okay. What is that, Akhi? Is that first of all we have the Quran, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if the Quran is left open to anyone's interpretation, that can mean that ISIS is right. We don't believe that I understand the Quran how I want to understand it. He understands the Quran how he wants to. Understands it how he wants to understand it. We believe we understand it how the Prophet understand it and the companions did. Yes, the people that was there.
Yeah. I hear you, bro.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say to you, look, Raspect. I'm sure, yeah. In Islam, we believe the worst sin is shirk. I'm sure you know what shirk is. Yes, worshipping other than Allah. Now, someone might say, yeah, how is it that you might have a person, yeah, who's a Christian, yeah, who gives charity, helps the poor, this, that, and the other, and so forth, yeah? And he does that, and then you have a Muslim who does the same thing, yeah? And
a Muslim doesn't do that.
Okay, doesn't do that, yes?
Yeah, a Muslim, bad Muslim.
And then what happens?
Pork and
he might
everything.
drug
gay
deal.
Muslim, everything.
Okay, he drug deals and whatever.
If you don't mind,
and
But he believes in Allah and he repents.
Yeah. Okay, you might say, how is that fair that he dies, yeah? First of all, we believe that if a Muslim does sins, like he's a drug dealer, he raves, he smokes, this, that, and the other, and so forth, and he sins, when he dies, he will go to hell, yes? Not only will he will get punished for his sins, unless Allah chooses to forgive him, yeah? Not only will go to hell, he'll go to the 7th level, get punished for his sins, but eventually he will come out. The reason why is this. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. I did not create mankind and jinn except to worship me alone, yes?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So working is a part of life, but it's a side issue, yeah?
But there's no problem with anything what you're saying, bro.
Having relationships is a part of life, yeah?
I just want to know why this guy's going to burn forever.
I'm getting to
and
it.
why this guy's not going to, why this guy's going to heaven forever.
I'm getting
That's
to it.
all I want to know, bro.
I'm getting to it. Chilling out with the guys and stuff is cool, but the main purpose is that you worship God. It doesn't mean you just stay praying all of your life and you don't work, you don't have a wife and okay. But the thing is now, who is God? Who are we worshipping? I'm sure if a man prays to a gate, do you believe he's a believer? If he worships a gate or an idol?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. It's interpretation. So listen.
I'm asking you.
Listen, because it's interpretation. Yeah, because when someone sees, if I kiss the tree right now, which gives us breath, yeah, people will say that I'm worshipping the tree. But not because of something in the Quran, but because Omar said he saw the Prophet do it in a hadith, and obviously we already know the hadiths are questionable. This is why people are kissing the Mecca.
He also says in the same hadith that you do not benefit and you do not harm.
I know. But what I'm saying is, someone could see that without reference to that hadith, or someone might not even believe in that hadith, because obviously we know that it was written 200 years later, yeah? And for that reason, now, they see that as the same thing. You understand? They see that as man's worshipping the gate.
I'm not talking about kissing the gate. I'm not talking about, for example.
But Hussain, the thing is, this is the reality. In your whole, sometimes the examples we use ain't tight, because I don't think anyone here has met anyone that says they worship a gate.
Let me give you an example.
I think everyone that says they worship God, they all believe in the same essence.
Let me give you an example, yeah?
So it's not.
Let me give you an example. My mum, Jamaican Christians on one side, Haitian Christians on the other, yeah? My mother, she believes Jesus is God. Yeah. And worships her. Yeah. Okay. Do you believe that type of person is worshipping other than God?
Who, your mum?
Yeah.
No, she worships God.
She prays. No, she believes that Jesus is the creator. That God came down on earth as a man, and she prays in the name of Jesus. You know how Jamaican West Indian fans are.
No, that's your interpretation of Christianity.
Listen. Well, my mum.
I believe that they believe Jesus was the Son of God. It's a belief that they have, but they still believe in God.
No, Raspect, if someone tells you there are Jamaican families that believe...
That's what they believe. The same way Muslims believe that the Prophet came.
Raspect, I'm asking
you... So they're equal in their belief. None of us know.
Raspect, I'm asking you a question. Are there Christians that believe that sometimes God is the Father, sometimes God is the Holy Spirit, and sometimes God is Jesus, the Son on earth?
They believe that the Spirit of the Most High works through the Trinity.
That's not true. If there's many Christians here every week there's
and
they will tell you.
And there's many Muslims that will tell you their interpretation of
No,
Islam.
what I'm trying to say to you, in this park, there's many Christians here that will tell you Jesus is 100% man and 100% God.
Yeah,
that's
and there's people that would tell you, and the reason why they say that because they say they're sinless, but there's people that would tell you like you that would tell you that Prophet Muhammad never sinned.
Okay,
but you don't have a time machine to really verify that, but you'll push that like that's the truth because you believe it, because you believe in the Quran. It's the same way they believe in the interpretation that's given to them by the scholars of the Bible. So I agree with you that these Christians, are getting the wrong interpretation from their scholars and teachers. But I say the same thing could be said to be happening in Islam as well.
I'm asking you questions, Raspect. The Christians that let's put aside the ones that don't believe Jesus is actually God. Yes, because I speak to many Christians. I've been coming here for 10 years. I speak to many Christians in this park that believe that Jesus is God. Okay, the ones that are in the side, because in Islam, 3 people ain't held accountable. The ones that ain't heard the message. Yes, because there's people that haven't heard the dawah. Yeah, they haven't heard the call to worship to one God. Yeah, we believe they're not responsible for what they believe. Someone that dies before the age of understanding, they're not held accountable. And someone who's crazy on the day of judgment, we don't believe that they're held accountable for the belief.
Just the same people.
Okay,
just the same good people.
What I'm trying to say is that we believe in the day of judgment. They will be given a test like the test we have on earth. But I'm saying if someone hasn't heard a message, you're not responsible because Allah says He doesn't punish a nation.
I understand all of that, bro. But I don't want to go around the tables and hear stuff that I know. You know why?
This is the point I'm trying to make.
Because he made that point earlier.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me take it after this point.
Hold on. The point I'm trying to say is this: the people that worship, not the people that are confused with the Trinity and don't know what they're talking about. There's many Christians, even in this park here today, that believe, and all the Christians preachers there, I bet if you speak to 10 of them, 9 out of 10 of them will tell you Jesus is 100% man and God. And they mean by that, they literally believe He's God.
Conviction.
If I literally worship you, or you literally worship me, am I a disbeliever?
No, but do you know that in the same video, where you're debating Jedi, because no, you have to understand the concept of this. The same adoration that Christians give to Jesus is the same adoration that Muslims give to the Prophet.
You're wrong, I tell you why.
Listen. I'm talking in actual liberty.
I don't ask Muhammad for anything.
Let me take it after this. Let me say what I'm saying, The same adoration that Christians give to Jesus, the average Christian, the way he speaks about Jesus, I'd say that Muslims speak about the Prophet Muhammad at a higher level.
I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Let me finish. I'd say Muslims put the Prophet at a higher level than the Christians actually put Jesus. The reason why I say that, is because every time they say the Prophet's name, they say peace be upon him. You understand? So I'm saying the actual adoration that is given to the Prophet within Islam is more than what the actual Christians actually give to Jesus when they're actually speaking. Now, let me show you,
And we say alayhi salam for the other prophets.
Are you listening? Sometimes the worship is even subconscious. And the reason why I say that is even when you was debating Jedi, you said that you worship the Prophet.
No, never.
You did.
No, I don't worship the Prophet.
But I'm saying it came out of your mouth from a subconscious place.
But Raspect, because you do have a slip of a tongue, it means you worship the Prophet.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
it doesn't make sense.
You give adoration, but what I'm saying is we give. Listen, what the word worship or praise means. Praise, is when you give, like you praise a child when they do right, innit? You understand?
Hold on. You're playing with language now. I'm asking you a question, Raspect. I'm asking you a question. In our Surah Fatih every day, we say Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone, Allah, we worship you alone, we praise. In fact, there's a hadith of the Prophet.
But we can say one thing and do another thing.
Hold on. Listen, just because I show people respect and this, that, and the other, I don't make dua to the Prophet. If you make dua to someone, like my mum, and many Jamaican families, they pray to Jesus. They pray to Jesus. In fact, and the whole point I'm trying to say to you, I'm asking you a simple question. If you make dua to another human being like a prophet, do you consider that person a believer or disbeliever?
I can't go into someone's head, and tell them the reason for their interpretation. No, listen. Because the Most High, we say it's unexplainable, and then we try to explain the Most High. So I'm saying that I could never even think in my head to make the judgment and tell you where anyone here is going to go. It could be
I'm not asking you that question.
No.
I'm saying to you, forget, because
I can't tell you their interpretation of Christianity.
Okay, I'm saying to you, if someone is praying to a man and asking that man instead of God for something, do you believe that person is a believer?
When I was a Christian, we did not pray to any man.
I'm not asking you about you.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you denying that there is people that pray directly to Jesus and ask Jesus for things?
They feel like there's people, listen. There were people back in the times of the Kaaba who believed that they could not communicate with Allah, so they needed idols. The same way the Christians now believe that they can't get straight through to the Father, so they need Jesus. Listen. In the same way, because that's what I'm saying, when you see something, you got to look in the mirror. The same way Muslims believe they cannot connect to the Creator without scholars.
And that's what I'm saying to you. Hold on.
So now the scholar becomes the God.
Hold on, we don't
because the scholar's interpretation.
Hold on.
No, the scholar's interpretation becomes now God's interpretation. So if the scholar's wrong and you follow the scholar, now you follow the scholar a lot.
Hold on. Well, I don't know one Muslim that believes you can't pray to Allah without a scholar.
No, you can't understand Islam without a scholar.
No, we can understand Islam without scholars. But the thing is, hold on. Okay, there's people. My point I want to get to you, because we can have if buts and maybes. I'm asking you, there's people that when they talk about
anyone who directly prays to a man, I don't agree that it's right.
No, what I'm trying to say to you,
no,
I'm not talking about the people
that white man Jesus.
I'm not talking
about him all the time.
I'm not talking about the people that venerate Jesus. I'm not talking about these people.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about people that speak out about Jesus, about love and respect him and mention his name very much. Yeah. I'm not talking about them, because if they've got a wrong understanding of the tree, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking to you.
There's a verse in their thing that said you will not reach the Father but through me, and they believe their book hasn't been changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no problem. So, I'm asking you, a person, not the people that not the people that love Jesus and speak about Jesus well. Yeah. I'm not talking about them.
Okay,
yeah. I'm talking about the people that directly pray to Jesus. Are they?
They're fire on them, man. They're man with the white Jesus.
So they're disbelievers.
Disbelievers.
They're Kafirs. Okay.
But I don't know.
Hold on. Exactly. So the whole thing is that
no, but you said, I believe they're Kafirs, but I don't know they're Kafirs. You know what I'm saying?
So I believe they're Kaffir. Look, for example, I don't believe
anyone who worships white Jesus. That's mad.
So what I'm trying to say to you, I agree with you. If a person respects Jesus, because as a Muslim you have to respect Jesus, But if you pray to him, you're a Kaffir. And you're a Kaffir because Allah says in the Quran, we recite it every day, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone, Allah, we worship. You alone, we ask for help. Yes? In fact, a man came to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and said he wanted to do something. And he said, if Allah wills and Muhammad wills. And he said, don't say that. He said, only if Allah wills.
Yeah, 100%.
Secondly, a man came from the idol worshippers. And he went to prostrate to Muhammad. And he said, don't do that. And he said, I saw the kings and monks or whatever doing this to the people. He said, prostration is only for Allah.
Yeah,
so what I'm trying to say to you, in Islam,
I'm just saying there's people of all different faiths that prostrate only to the Most High.
Okay, but the thing is that, listen now, if you pray to Jesus, yes? I'm not talking about from the outside looking in. Yeah. If you pray to Jesus, you are a disbeliever. Yeah. If you pray to Muhammad, you leave Islam, yes? Yeah. Same thing. If you make dua to Muhammad, you're not a Muslim.
But what if you venerate the scholars to a point where people are worshipping the scholars without knowing it?
When you say worship of scholars, what do you mean? Because we have to be careful words.
If you're going to tell an individual, like I said last week, that a Muslim I can't read the Quran off of my own back, and understand the Quran.
You know why people
I have to now go to a scholar.
No, what is it?
And what I saw in the part that was going on is like it's like everyone cares about how they look, but it's not about how you look or how Islam looks. It's about the truth. You get me? So for example, let me give you an example.
No, I heard what you said, but look, I heard you say something about me, about caring about people. Look, it's not personal. Wallahi, if I cared about what people think about me, you see when the monkey thing happened, I would have kept my mouth shut. You see, if I cared with people thought about me, Muslim.
But you might care what we think as well.
I don't care. I respect you. Look, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say to you,
I'm just winding you up, Hussain.
The point I'm trying to say, people say, the reason why I did retractions at the beginning of the video slip, it was because I had a slip of a tongue, and I'm responsible for the things the wrong, incorrect things I was doing. I said something about the Prophet Muhammad, and I got it wrong.
Everyone can be wrong.
I slipped up.
It's normal. Everyone's infallible, just like the scholars.
But the thing is,
they can get it wrong as
well.
But
the point I'm trying to say, if I cared about what the Muslim community said, I wouldn't have went out my way to do the monkey thing. Because I knew people would have seen it, and the chemists was it. He helped the chemists against the Muslim. And the same thing about the praying feet to feet, shoulder to shoulder. I would have said it. Why? Because the community would have come down with me. I did it because it was the haq. Now the point I was trying to make to you was this: is that look, I think you've misunderstood thinking about the scholars. The reason why people, because like you have people, what do you call the knowledgeable people in Rasta?
No, we ain't got that concept.
But you have people that have read more.
We got priests.
You got priests, yeah?
But we don't get our interpretations from them.
No, but look, for example,
we just get an understanding from, like, we get a deeper understanding of what they think, and we can, and if that goes with whatever's inside us already, but we can't get the actual interpretation from any other man.
Okay, do you know what, as a Muslim, what a proof is for us?
So, for example,
do you know what the Quran tells us? Let me tell you what the Quran says. Let me tell you what the Quran says.
Let me say one thing, yeah. I'd take more, from someone like Mohib, sometimes reasoning with someone like Mohib, or the layman that these men, because obviously last week they tried to call a normal black brother a layman, innit? You get me? And say that he needs to go to a scholar. But I've spoken to scholars, I've spoken to imams, I've spoken to some of the most knowledgeable here, and so I get more from the real people on the ground because there's a sense of genuineness and down to earthness. You understand? And with everyone else sometimes, it's like there's a script. It's like
the Quran agrees with what you said. In the Quran it says,
it's like I'm not speaking to the person.
Obey Allah.
It's just like I'm speaking to the points which they've got set.
The Quran says what you say. Obey Allah, obey the messenger. Listen to this. Obey those in authority amongst you. If you differ in anything, refer it back to Allah and His messenger. That's what the Quran says. 100%. Yes? So it says, obey Allah, obey the messenger, obey those in authority amongst you. If you differ in anything, don't refer it back to the authority, people in authority amongst you. Refer it back to Allah and His messenger. So proof for us in Islam, especially people that follow Sunni, Salafi Islam, Orthodox Islam, a proof for us, Allah said and the messenger said. The only reason why people would say follow scholars is this. As people are older, they have read more, and memorized more. So the whole thing, when, for example, you have the Quran, yes? And you're supposed to read it for yourself.
I'm not saying don't get understanding on YouTube and listen to a documentary and hear the scholar speak. I'm not saying that. I'm saying your actual interpretation, you have to read it for yourself and get that for yourself.
But I agree with you.
You can't get it from a set of people that have already got it
I agree with you. See, when we go to scholars, if I go to a scholar and say, look, okay, how did the Prophet understand this? I'll read the Quran, and I've got verses saying this and verses there. How do I put this all together and understand it? If the scholar comes to me and says, I think, blah, 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 that's not evidence for me. He's got to say, the Prophet said and the messenger said, and in his life, he did this and show me the evidence for it. That's why we have scholars. The reason why, because when you're older, you've memorized, like in the Quran, we read the Quran. Then you've got things like explanation, why this verse came down. So obviously an older person is going to know more than a younger person. But it doesn't mean a younger person, no, I'm just saying in general.
There's a verse in the Bible that says what was hidden from the wise and the prudent will be revealed to the babe and the suckling. Because sometimes, you see if you ask any youth, if you ask a Muslim child, the same question I asked to my man, is if your friends that are Christian or whatever, but go to hell right now, if you all die right now, do you think how's it gonna go? Any Muslim child, if you don't give them any interpretation from anyone outside, just going from their heart and what Allah put inside there, because it's not shaitan that put it inside there, because it comes from a place of love. So what Allah put inside their heart, they're gonna tell you that the Most High must deal with people based upon how they live. Their righteousness. And the reason why I say that is because the only reason why the prophets came is because the people forgot righteousness. In the Torah, the reason why the prophets came wasn't for the people that was doing the righteousness and continuing the law. They were for the people that had forgotten the message. That is the reason why even the prophet came to Saudi Arabia, because the people didn't know the message. So what I'm saying is the people that was actually already dealing with that righteousness, it wasn't necessarily for them. You understand?
But we have this in, what you're saying is in a hadith.
I know.
Because, for example, I don't know if you must know the narration. But then, so what your problem?
There's a surah in the Quran that says, the Jews say only they will go to heaven. I'm going to add, the Muslims say only they will go to heaven. I'm going to add, that's my add-on. But it says the Jews say only they will go to heaven. The Muslims say only they will go to heaven. The Christians say only they will go to heaven. I'm going to add, the Muslims say only they will go to heaven. And then the verse says, tell them to show you proof. If you're a doer of good, and you submit to Allah, you have nothing to fear. If you're a doer of good and you submit to the Creator, you have nothing to fear. How can you submit to the Creator? The only real way you can submit to a Creator that you can't see and touch ain't got nothing to do with what you believe, because it's very easy to do that. But it's how you deal with the creation. There's even a hadith that says, who does Allah love the most? The one who looks after the creation. So what I'm saying is, there's guidance within Quranic texts that show everything that I'm saying to be true. But then it comes down to the interpretation and the heart of the person. If the person's got a dark heart, where they want to see people burn in hell forever, then they're more likely going to go with that interpretation. If a person's got a very clean heart, you get me, like a woman, like a lot of Muslim women, you get me? I'm telling you, because women are closer to their intuition. So a woman is going to understand what I'm saying much faster than a man, because a man is more mental. A woman comes from here, but that's where the Most High really operates from.
But Raspect, you can't. Them verses about the Jews and the Christians and so forth. You can't just take them and substitute other verses. For example, I'll give the Arabic and English very short. Allah also says in the Quran, "Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad." Say God is one, the absolute, the eternal. 100. He doesn't give birth. He wasn't begotten, and he doesn't give birth. He doesn't beget.
That's cool.
So obviously the Jews and the Christians at that time, they didn't believe that God had literal children as
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying, if there's a Christian, yes, because also the Christians at the times, he's talking about the Christians that follow Jesus, rarely follow Jesus.
100%,
Not the
bro,
ones
but they
that-
still exist.
Yes, there are Christians like that. But what I'm trying to say to you, it's not talking about the Christians.
I know, bro.
So you agree, the Christians that believe that God has literal children, gives birth, and has a literal begotten son, they are Kaffir.
Yeah, I can't call
Okay,
them
can I ask
Kaffir,
you
but
a
I can
question?
say they're misguided.
No, but do you understand what I'm
I call them
saying?
misguided.
Okay, the point
I don't know what I don't know what the Most High put in their heart. I don't know their experiences, and I don't know what the Most High has planned for
so
them.
I'm saying to you, the verses you brought, yes, they're true. That the
100%.
people say from the Jews they're right,
Yeah.
and the people say from
I
the
just
Christians.
switch it around on a Muslim as well. Because you got to know the text applies to you as well.
But what you also have to do is take the other verses, yes?
I'm cool with
So
that.
the whole thing is that verse that the whoever's on the haqq and the truth will go to Jannah. Yes, that's the Christians that actually believe what Jesus believed and what Moses believed and so forth, yes? The ones that follow them correctly, yes, they're going to go to Jannah. But the ones that believe that God literally, that in Hail Mary, Mother of God and all this kind of stuff, and God having literal children and popping out babies and stuff like this, those are not Christians. Do you understand what?
I understand because I say that all the
Okay, can I
time.
ask you a question?
so
I always find out people
but what I would say to you is respect. I don't look. When we say follow scholars, like for example, the reason why, like I'm trying to say to you, there's people that have spent their life in Rasta, studying a thing. You call them priests, yes?
Yeah.
That priest can learn something of a younger person.
100%.
Yeah, and because you know youth, and young people, when we make judgments, sometimes we do it like you said, off emotion, especially you guys, The thing is that if a Rasta, this is how it is in Islam. If a scholar comes to us, for example, a verse might be revealed, yes? Okay, it might be revealed about something. There's a context why that verse was revealed. So we can read it. As Muslims, we're reading ourselves. We're trying to learn Arabic. We're learning. If you speak to us, we're at different levels, memorizing surahs and this, that, and the other. So we're learning for ourselves. And
everyone's on the same
and the
level
Quran
with
tells
the
us.
eyes of
The
Most High.
Quran tells us to. But obviously, I'm a convert to Islam. I've been Muslim, like half my life Muslim, half. So the whole thing is obviously someone that's been in Islam. Now, if I go to someone who memorized the whole Quran, memorized the reason why they're thing, and I go to him, okay, in this situation, the Prophet said this and I saw the companions did this. What is the right understanding of this, Then, and he says, I think, then I'm going to say to him, verse on the Quran and reference of Hadith. So I follow him that. If he says, I think and I feel, I don't follow you. I'm only following you because you might know something.
But he can still give you an interpretation. The thing is,
okay, what's he going to do?
So because of the different, so like for example, like what he was saying, that's how ISIS do their thing as well though. You know what I'm saying?
The ISIS just make up the...
No, it's an interpretation.
No.
Because that's what I'm saying. Obviously, someone called me a kuffar. Yeah, the reason why the kuffar is dangerous because there's a verse in the Quran which you can take an interpretation without using the context and say kill the kuffar wherever you find them.
Okay,
you understand?
Exactly. That verse is a proof.
Yeah.
Kill them wherever you find.
100%.
It says kill them wherever you find them.
But it's taken out.
It's
taken out of context.
I
know.
The verse says kill them wherever you find them.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is now when this comes up, I and an ISIS person go to a scholar and they say, okay, the verse says kill them wherever you find them. Those that broke the contract. It says, so it's talking about something. So we say, who broke the contract? If he said the kuffar today broke the contract, that don't make sense because they went there today. So now he has to give me what we call dalil, evidence. So he's got to show me in the Quran and in the Hadith who broke the contract and why.
But fam, he can still use the interpretation. You get me? A political interpretation.
How? He's going to give me the
reference.
reference.
So the times when these men have said they're not gonna come to Iran or all of these places, and then they broke a contract.
No, but Raspect, you're jumping.
I'm saying
he has to give me something.
I'm saying they can say politically Muslims are being attacked. And they need to attack back.
But we're not talking about now.
No, I'm
if he's using this verse, Raspect, this is what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm not trying to even use the verse. I don't even care about the verse. It's not. No, listen, it's not about the verse. No, I'm just showing. That verse was used to show how a negative interpretation, not the interpretation you're trying to push.
If someone brings this as evidence, kill them wherever they find them, and they say we can kill the kuffar because of this verse. And I'm with an ISIS person. I'm saying, okay, who was the person that broke the contract? Because you're using it for today. Then when we go to it, there was a peace treaty between the Jews and the Prophet, and they broke it.
But they can say that these men are breaking a contract now when they're going to Muslim countries.
Okay.
Yo, Tawheed, one thing. I'm coming back.
But the whole thing is, first of all, the contract, look,
I hear you.
It's not going to be the same as the contract of the Prophet because there's many things in the contract that the Prophet had with the Jews that weren't against his side, and so it weren't in his favor. And the whole thing is that even Prophet Muhammad, we've got so many hadiths about don't kill women, don't cut down trees in war, don't kill insects and all this stuff.
But we know historically that wasn't always followed.
What do you mean?
Like with the Indians and the Sikhs and the massacre of the Sikhs.
Yeah, but we don't follow Muslims.
I know, but what I'm saying is these are people who spread the religion as well.
But Raspect, we don't follow Muslims.
I know you
look
don't
at Edgware
follow
Road.
Muslims. I know you don't
look
follow
at Edgware Road.
But I'm saying that whole thing that happened there, that happened from, I can always tell you, look, the Prophet Muhammad in his time, he was in Mecca, he went to Medina, then he went back to Mecca. He did not spread the religion via war.
Yes.
That was the caliphates that led to what happened to the Sikh people and the massacre and all of that.
So
invading Persia. They're the ones who created the concept of the Sharia law. Just check out the Kaffir report if you don't believe me. You get me?
Okay,
the
so what
concept of Sharia law that made them able to invade countries if people were not Muslim. This was the reason, because the people are kuffars and we've got the truth. So now it means because the Muslims would have had low morale when invading Persia, because the Muslims weren't used to invading places where there hadn't been a war. The first place where Abu Bakr got them to invade was the Byzantines and the Sassanids, but obviously you know that them people there was always invading other people. So it was easy for them to tell them, yo, they're probably going to invade us soon, let's go. But then when it came to the Persians now, it was a whole new thing, and that's where the whole Sharia law concept is. That's historically. Caspian report is my source, you understand? So I'm saying that these things need to be studied and understood, because it's these people with that same political agenda, yeah, that's put together the interpretation that I think is negative.
I'm going right now. What's going to say? That's
Yo, yeah,
all I'm trying to say to you, me and the people that I'm following, we read the Quran for ourselves. Yeah. We're learning Arab. We're trying to. We're reading, doing our own research. But the thing is that if we get stuck in places and so forth, and we look for how the Prophet and the companions understand it. If we come to a situation where we're stuck in, we go to a scholar, yes, and we'll ask him to give us to show us how you harmonize these things. To look at. He can't give me I think, I feel, well, my opinion is. He has to give me from Allah said and the Messenger said. And then it's for us to also look into it and see if it matches what he's saying. We don't blind for it. Allah tells us in the Quran, obey Allah.
And matches well.
Huh? So are you saying
after it matches there and matches there,
that's why,
it has to also match here.
Yes, I agree with you.
It has to do a triangle, because you see the books and all of that. I know they're holy and they haven't been changed, but you know what really that you know for 100% hasn't been changed, Hussain? Yeah, I would never want you to change your faith. Never. That's not my intentions, you get me? That is not my intentions, you get me? My intention is for you to stay true to you. That's all I want you to do. So what I'm saying is, that interpretation that you're talking about, I'm cool with that. But we can say that we don't believe the Quran's been changed. I can understand why you say that. You get me? With the hadith, for me, it's more shaky, but I could understand that. But there's one thing that all of you know that Allah has not changed. It's 100%. He gave it to you. That's your heart.
Yeah, but
that's your heart.
But the thing is this.
That's your heart.
The thing is this.
You get me? Look, so anything that goes against that, any interpretation, any scholar, I'm saying, leave that out. I'm telling you.
That's the thing.
Because remember,
what was in my heart?
The reason that's why Jannah, let me tell you something. When you get to Jannah, you know what the Most High is going to. I always tell the Muslims, when you get to Jannah, you're going to see a bare rastas. Listen.
Not if they believe in the Bible and they believe that God and they believe that God rested and they believe. No.
Let me finish, fam. Let me finish. When you get there, you're going to see bare rastas. You're going to be surprised. You're going to say, what? Now listen.
The only way you see rastas is there if they believed in Tawheed and they didn't believe it. They didn't accept Bible where God was resting. Oh no.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. You're going to get there. You're going to see bare rastas. Yeah. And you're going to get certain Muslims coming to the Most High and telling him, but I believed. And you know what the Most High is going to say to them? He's going to say, yes, I put things in a book, but you didn't listen to the thing I gave to you though. Because you think the Most High is going to make it that easy that you just got it in a book and some scholars can tell you, no, life's not that easy, my brother.
If you just need your heart, there wouldn't be prophets.
100%.
There wouldn't be prophets.
Because it's when the prophets went against their heart.
Hold on, listen. What I'm trying to say to you.
Righteousness isn't exclusive. It's right, yeah, that's a good question.
Respect. If you only need your heart, there would no need be for prophets. And there would no be for prophets to come. Because then, hold on, please, hold on. Hold on, please, I'm going. I ain't got time for that. Hold on, bro, I'll give you. Respect, if we only need our hearts, then there would be no need for prophets. Because the whole thing is this, is that if we just need our hearts, then why send prophets? To inform us about things. Secondly, so what I'm trying to say to you, Raspect, is this.
1 minute. I don't agree with that, but go on.
What do you mean?
if you just need your hearts, why send prophets? They sent the prophets because people wasn't following what Most High put in their heart.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if the heart is just enough, you don't need prophets.
No, they sent the prophets not for the people that was following their heart and doing righteousness, because righteousness is not exclusive to Islam. You see, before Islam, fam, let me tell you about it, because you're meant to...
Call me when you're done, because I know he's jumping.
Let him jump in.
Now, when you're done, inshallah, cool.
Because Kuwait is basically now. This is what can it look. Okay, so what I'm trying to say to you. Okay. I'm telling you from the Quran. Yeah? As I said in the beginning, as Allah says in the Quran, قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Say God is one, the absolute, the eternal. He doesn't beget and he wasn't begotten. So if you're a Rasta and you believe in the Bible and you believe God begets, there's no Jannah for you. Because God says clearly in the Quran that if you believe that God begets and God has children, literal. Hold on.
I don't believe that.
No, but
none of them things.
Okay, but if you're Bible, but do you agree? But I'm saying to you, in the clear Quran, forget.
I don't even care about belief too much.
No, what I'm trying to say, forget about the scholars. The Quran says that
belief
God
guides me into the real. Sorry.
Forget about scholars, yeah. God says in the Quran, if God has birth, gives birth, God doesn't give birth, and he wasn't born. Yeah, so if you're a Rasta and or Christian or Jew and you believe in the verses of the Bible that say God
there's even a Hindu and a Sikh verse that says, no, there's a Sikh verse that says that as well.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, if you're a Rasta or a Christian or Jew who believes that God has literal children, the Quran says you're not going to your Jannah, yes? So them Rastas won't be in heaven, yes?
Yo, Harry, put the Sikh verse there.
So them Rastas ain't going to heaven. You agree according to the Quran?
Yeah.
Because that's not no scholar, that's the Quran.
What we're taught in Rastafari, is
I'm talking about the Quran.
Oh yeah, from a Quran's perspective.
From the Quran, they're going to Jahannam. Okay, so what I'm trying to say to you, and I say as a Muslim, if you worship, if you ain't heard the message, I'm not talking about them people. If you're talking about Jesus or Buddha or whatever is out of veneration, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you make dua to Jesus. You pray to Jesus, ask him to forgive your sins, ask him for stuff instead of God, you're a Kaffir. That's what I'm saying, and that's what the Quran says. We say 5 times a day, 17 times a day. In our prayers,
I just say someone who knows the truth and covers the truth is a Kaffir.
How does Allah tell us to judge between men?
So what I'm trying to say to you, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You alone we worship, you alone we sit the bed. So it's someone, I'm not saying look like from the outside, we can't tell from the outside. But if someone inside is praying to Jesus and asking him to forgive, he's a Kaffir. If someone's praying to an animal and asking for forgiveness or good in this world, they're a Kaffir. That's what the Quran says. Yeah? So I'll finish here. No problem. Take care. And thank you for letting me come in. Sorry, take care.
You get me? Yeah.
I picked that ital phone, fam.
Pick the ital phone. You get me?
But you know
see the original Kaffir ran away.
When you talk about heart, that's true. Because you know what? You know in the Quran, God says this, those who go to heaven.
He could be a Kaffir first, so now he's got to eat his own medicine.
Hey, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's got to drink that. Sip that. Can you sip that Kaffir juice? Sorry.
No, sorry. In the Quran, God says that those who come with clear, sound heart, those are the ones who will go to heaven.
I'm going to give my intro, yeah?
You get me?
Ego.
I'll give an intro video as well.
It's going to be all one video from early, man.
Yeah, that's all good, man.